Okay, so I went on TEMU last week and I bought the cheapest electric guitar that I could find. And I ended up with that blue Musiker over there. I don't know, I only chose it because I don't have any blue guitars and I also don't have a telly. So the real question is this: how good is it? I love playing inexpensive instruments. We do a lot of that here at the channel. Speaking of which, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. But in general, I try to demo instruments of all different price points because it's easy to be like, well, of course you sound good. You're playing such expensive gear. So let's put that theory to the test today. By the way, if you want to check out the guitar that I'm using, there's a link to it in the description. You can also find it by searching on the TEMU app. So let's just dive right in. So as far as packaging goes, this is pretty standard for instruments at this price point. It's double boxed, wrapped in a thin layer of styrofoam and some bubble wrap around the headstock. Now it did come with a guitar cable too, which I didn't end up using because I have lots of those already. And right out of the box, I'm just looking for blemishes or just anything that may have gotten damaged during transit. And honestly, it looks pretty good. I also always check the neck to see how straight it is, see if I need to do a setup before I do any recording. And actually, I didn't have to do anything to this instrument. Everything you hear today is totally stock. The neck was straight, there was no buzzing or frets poking out or nothing like that. The action was a little high, but definitely playable. And plus, I'm a bass player, so I never complain about high action on a guitar. I did find some cosmetic blemishes, which, are pretty common again for instruments at this price point. Because come on, it's a $125 electric guitar, all right? Give me a break. I'll try to show you what I'm seeing, but honestly, it might not translate. You can see there's a tiny scuff up here at the top, which is actually underneath the finish. Probably not visible to you at all, and definitely not anyone from stage. And you can also see a tiny scuff right here at the corner where the heel kind of meets the neck joint. As you can see, it's incredibly light. The neck almost feels like it's not even there. And I like that gradient blue finish with a white pickguard against a black body. Very snazzy. And the controls on the guitar are pretty straightforward. We got a volume and tone with a 3-selection pickup switcher between the 2 different pickups. If you've ever played a telly before, you pretty much know what to expect here. So as soon as I plugged it in, I just tuned it up, dialed both the knobs up to 100%, and this is exactly what it sounded like out of a clean Marshall Plexi. At first, I'm just trying to see if those open chords will stay in tune, what all the different pickups sound like, and then also how the tone knob affects it. The bridge pickup is definitely thin. The middle position is darker, but still has some bite to it. The neck pickup I thought was definitely the darkest. Pulling down the tone knob here made it super dark. So far, I definitely prefer the middle position for rhythm guitar. The neck position's not bad, but it's a bit too dark. I don't know, we'll see in a second if I can use it in the song that I'm about to play, but the bridge pickup is certainly the thinnest. And I'm pretty sure it's giving off some microphony. You can hear some like clangy, sort of metallic sounds. More than likely resonating off the bridge, which again is something I totally expect for instruments at this price point for a $129 guitar. But before I make any judgments, let's actually throw it into a musical context. We'll play a song that we recorded right here at Deadbeat Studios. We'll see how it sounds. Let's start out with some real chuggy power chords, something you might hear on like a Weezer song. And we'll stick to the lower register just to see how it holds its tuning. Personally, I thought it sounded best in the middle position with the tone knob rolled all the way up. Next, let's try out a palm muted secondary rhythm track. This time I went with the neck pickup, so let's pull in the other rhythm track, see how they blend together. Another good test for accurate tuning is playing octaves, because if those are out of tune, everybody's going to notice. Now, for not having done a setup, and again, this is just straight out of the box, kind of impressed. And you know, just for fun, let's see how this guitar handles in drop C tuning. Without doing another setup, without putting thicker gauge strings, let's just see how it does. All right, so how good is this $129 guitar from TEMU? Well, right out of the box, it worked. I didn't need to do a setup. I didn't need to adjust the neck or the intonation, put new strings on it. It just worked. And I bet it would hot rod pretty well. I'm probably gonna give this guitar to my brother because he loves Frankensteining instruments and putting in different necks and bridges and pickups and all sorts of components. So if he does anything to really soup up this guitar, I'll let you know and I'll do another video. Who is this guitar intended for? Obviously beginners, given the price point, but I'm sure intermediate players wouldn't scoff at it either. And again, if you can hot rod it, I'm sure it would be fine as a second, like backup guitar or even for altered tunings. $129 is not a bad starting point. There is a link in the description of this video. You can go check out this guitar yourself, and TEMU does site-wide sales all the time, sometimes up to 90% off. And they also do free shipping and returns on anything for 90 days. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And in particular, thank you to these names right over here, the Skeleton Crew. Y'all are keeping the lights on around here. And if you want to support the channel and get some awesome perks, please go check out the Skeleton Crew. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on those notifications. We'll see you next time.